Hello parents, as the lockdown period increases, so does the time that our little ones and not so little ones are spending with their devices. And that brings in its own set of challenges. Recent incidents like Bois Locker Room further increases our fears. What if my child falls into it? So what is it that as a parent you can do here? Well, if you ask me, a lot. If your child is over 10 years, you need to sit with your child and have the talk. For that is the age when we are slowly giving an access to websites, online gamings and groups. Like we have rules and regulations for a person who steps out on the road with a vehicle, similarly, the rules and regulations of online medium must be shared with them. After all, they are moving out of the house on the bylanes of the world over internet. Now, any news that makes it to the national news is bound to reach to our children in some or the other route. Unfortunately, most of the times in a thrilling or hush-hush way. Something that needs to be kept away for the adults. Forbidden can sometimes be taken as a challenge, especially by our adolescents who are driven by hormonal rush. So no wonder the vehicle crash rates for teenagers is 4 times higher than adults. So what we need to do is, we need to go to our child, have a heart-to-heart talk. It can start with as simple as, "Dear, your father and I need your attention, please. Could we have 10 to 15 minutes meeting?" While we talk, few things that we must keep in mind is to present it the way it is in an age-appropriate manner. For instance, for this particular event, it can be, we heard a news about few 10th and 12th standard children being in a chat room. They were sharing negative and demeaning information about their batchmates in a derogatory manner. Somehow it leaked out and reached to the police, and they are interrogating each of the participants in that group. It's illegal. So that is about the news. And then comes your pointers. My suggestion is we must cover at least 5 points, okay? So first comes our freedom and responsibility. As a society, we don't have right to pull anybody down in order to hurt. For the freedom of speech that we enjoy in our country, we also have a responsibility for what we speak, especially in a public platform. Secondly, acknowledgement of peer pressure. Okay? So sometimes we find ourselves in a group either in the neighborhood or in the school where topics are being discussed that we don't necessarily subscribe to. In our hearts of heart, we may not like it. So either we may participate in the talks to come across as cool or trendy, going against that little voice that tells us it is wrong, or we may choose to stay quiet. We may assume that just because we are not participating in the talks, we are not part of it. Well, if we are standing in the group, in the real world, or we are part of an online social group, so even if we stay quiet, whatever is the topic that is going on, it is assumed that we are giving a tacit approval of the same. I know a fear can come, what if I drop out of the group and I may not be included as their friends at all? Well, we have to take a judicious call here. Now, thirdly is the security issue. The moment we are online, we are open to the whole world. Sometimes being behind the screen gives us a false sense of security. When we are on a road and suddenly a stranger comes to us and asks, "Are you feeling lonely?" We may feel awkward answering that question or rather unsafe. But over internet or by Alexa, the same question may elicit a sense of caring. Wow, this person cares for what I'm feeling. So we need to be careful about this. There are all sorts of people who can take advantage of our vulnerability. So any information, including school, locality, gender, age, family details are all personal. Okay? And lastly, transience of emotional states. Sometimes We get excited to show our preferences and comments on online and social groups with whatever vocabulary and mental maturity state that we have developed so far. It is similar to different emotional states we go through, right? Like remember when you are angry, frustrated, happy, excited, sad. So that particular phase passes away and you move on to a different emotional state. The challenge with posting our temporary mental state in an online mode is that it stays there forever. So later in your life, when you're applying for a college, employment, or even visa, those temporary states can come back to us to haunt us as they form a wrong perception about you. You have moved out of it long time back, but the writing on the wall stayed. That is why it is also important not to react in writing to somebody when you are high on emotions. The emotions will go away, the hurting words would stay. So it is not fear, it is practical reality. We pay prices for our decisions. So the golden rule is, whenever you are posting something in a group or anywhere online, ask yourself, are you comfortable if a printout of the same is taken with your big photo and it is attached on your school notice board? Would you be comfortable with it? Do remember to put in following questions to hear from your child as well, right? So what are your thoughts about it? Do you have any concerns on it? Have you ever found yourself in such a situation of thinking different from your group? Or did you experience any of your friends facing such a challenge? Okay. Always leave a note of direct verbal assurance that you are there for your child. So let us know if there is something you wish to talk about later. Okay? And mind it, such discussions shouldn't be like a one-off big talk. We should be comfortable with repetitions wherever required. For as children grow up, their depth of understanding of the same situation increases and they imbibe different aspects each time we talk to them about it. Keeping the conversations ongoing also takes the air out of the topic and makes it easier for the children to understand and for the parents to connect. So, friends, I really hope after listening to this, you feel empowered and not fearful of how this event will affect your child and your family. Thank you very much.